Coping with Tre Tailor, giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we'll always be coping with something. Coping.
Happy Friday. I'm Tre Tailor, and you're watching Coping, hosted by Tre Tailor. We're giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life because, as you know, we'll always be coping with something. Today, we're coping with loss. It's part of our Happy Holidays, Less Stress series. And Kimberly Richardson joins us from Widows of Opportunities. One of her clients, Robin, here joins us. Both of these ladies have experienced loss, and we will talk to them. We're also going to be joined by training coordinator, instructor with the state of South Carolina, Caponda Narcisso, and life coach LaKesha McGraw from Inside of You. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. These ladies are going to give us some information, tips, and strategies to help us deal with loss throughout the holidays. All of that and so much more coming up next on Coping. I'm Tre Tailor, but first, your community updates. As the song says, the weather outside is frightful, and with the coldest holiday season since 1983, officials in the Midlands have opened up several warming stations in Orangeburg, Sumter, Newberry, Fairfield, and Richland counties. Please check out the scroll at the bottom of the screen for the list of shelters throughout the state of South Carolina. Please share this information with someone you may know. And all of that information will also be scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout the show and on the Tailor Made production page on book. Officials are encouraging people to stay safe, trying to stay warm this holiday season. Make sure your space heater is at least 3 feet away from anything that could burn. Turn them off when you're asleep and only use them on a hard surface. And don't forget to keep kids away from space heaters. Fireplaces, make sure yours has a screen to prevent sparks from flying into your home and that ashes are cool before putting them in a container. Other heating tips include don't use an oven to heat your home. Sometimes when it's cold in the kitchen, I do that. Inspect furnaces and keep chimneys clean. Test smoke alarms regularly. Keep portable generators outside and at least 10 feet from your home. And if you're going to be out and about, don't travel if the roadways are iced over. Stay clear of falling power lines. Call 911 if you have an accident. If a tree or other object crashes into your house and causes extensive damage, get out. And again, call 911. Report power outages as quickly as possible. And have an emergency kit that includes water, flashlights, and spare batteries in your home. Once again, it is going to be a cold and happy holiday season, and we want you to stay safe. In other news, Keep Midlands Beautiful is gearing up for their grinding of the Greens tree recycling event. Residents in Richland and Lexington counties can dispose of their Christmas trees beginning December 26th through January 21st in various locations. You can check the screen for details, and the info will be again scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout the show. SCDHEC has your most up-to-date list of times, dates, and location for COVID testing, COVID vaccinations, and also flu shots. Please visit scdhec.gov for more information. All of that information will be scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout the show. You can also find out where you can get a COVID test. Also, COVID tests via mail, COVID tests for veterans, also retail outlets that offer COVID tests in and around South Carolina and throughout the country. You'll also see scrolling at the bottom of the screen financial information if you need help with your mortgage or your rent, and also your utilities. SC Bar Association, SC Legal Services, Lexington County Bill Assistance Program, SC Housing, and Dominion Energy. All of that information not only is on the screen right now, but it will be scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout the show if you or someone you know needs it. Please post and share so we can get this important information to the masses. Also, if you or someone you know is having a challenge coping, the South Carolina Department of Health, Mental Health has a 24-hour assistance line called SC Hopes. Please call them anytime. They're open anytime, day or night, 24 hours a day, to give you the information and the support that you need to help you cope. I'm Tre Tailor, and you're watching Coping, hosted by me, Tre Tailor. We are streaming live on the Tailor Made Production page on Facebook. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow. Not only will you get notifications as to when we go live every Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council, but we are also, you'll also be able to get all type of information. Now, we'll also stream live on Thursday and Friday. We're also streaming live on our YouTube channel. Please go over there and hit the subscribe button. There you will find count them, 3 years of information, interviews, and resources to help you cope. Because as we say, we are always coping with something. We also have a presence on Instagram and also on Twitter. So please hit us up on social media, and don't forget to like, share, follow, and post. You're watching Coping. I'm Tre Tailor. We're giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we'll always be coping with something. Coming up, we're going to be coping with loss today. It's more of our Happy Holiday, Less Stress series, helping you identify and alleviate the stressors that are associated with this time of the year. Coming up after the break, we will talk to Kimberly Richardson with Widows of Opportunities and Robin Hare about the loss of their loved one. Then we'll be joined by LaKesha McGraw and Caponda Narcisso that will give us some information, tips, and strategies to help those of us who are dealing with loss during the holidays. That and more coming up next on Coping. I'm Tre Tailor.
Computers, they're a part of our everyday life. But when they're not working, they're an everyday problem. So call Computers Unique, your everyday solution. 803-351-5821. Is your computer running slow? Won't turn on? Do you need a screen replaced? Or maybe you just need another computer? Well, Computers Unique is your one-stop shop for all your computer needs. They have a wide variety of new and pre-owned PCs, Macs, and tablets. So call Computers Unique, Dutch Square Mall. 803-351-5821. 803-351-5821.
Hi, I'm Master Deputy Addie Perez with the Richland County Sheriff's Department Community Action Team. As a mother, I know it's important to take care of my health for those I care about. Part of doing that is knowing my risk for developing type 2 diabetes. So if I was you, I'll take the opportunity to visit inittogethersc.org and take an online test to find out if you have prediabetes. Again, the website is inittogethersc.org. This message is brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina.
Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council presents Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping with Tre Tailor. Please check it out next Wednesday. Today, we're coping with loss. It's a part of our Happy Holiday, Less Stress series, helping you to identify first and alleviate some of the stressors that are associated with the holidays, which is usually ho, 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 ha, 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 merry and bright. But loss is one of those big things that a lot of people experience. So it's not as happy a holiday. Kimberly Richardson joins us. She's with Widows of Opportunity. It's a nonprofit she launched to help and advocate for those who experience the loss of loved ones. One of her clients, Robin Hare, joins us. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. And my condolences for your loss. Let me ask you something. Are the holidays the worst time of the year for those folks dealing with loss?
You can go ahead, Robin.
I would say yes. On other dates, like the anniversary, I lost my husband to brain cancer. So the anniversary day, the birthday, the Valentine's Day, those are just like one day. Holiday season, it's like
it's a season.
It goes from November, and when January 1st gets here, I'm ecstatic. Because it's over, because you get flooded with so many memories of things that you used to do with your husband. And then it's not just, one day that you're dealing with this, you're talking a couple of months. So it's very different.
Yeah. So Kim, when did you start feeling different around the holidays? Is it that first holiday that you start feeling something?
What do you mean the first holiday, Trey?
The first holiday after the loss?
I was numb. I lost my husband in October, so it was
Oh,
just a numb feeling. So I think if I lost him in the beginning of the year, may have been different, but because I lost him in October, I was still in a state of shock. I was numb. I did in denial. So that first Christmas didn't affect me because I was numb. It was about the second or third one. I'm like, this is real. This is serious, and it really hit me like a ton of bricks. And I think the problem with that was you would think it's 2 or 3 years later. Why are you acting like this? Why do you feel this way? And it's like, no, it's just getting started.
yeah. It's so interesting you mentioned that because that's the next thing I was going to ask. When did you know your feeling was the loss? I'll tell you why, because I experienced this. I lost my mother, but I lost my mother when I was a teenager. When I became an adult, I started feeling like you said, Robin, from November. For me, it was through March because her birthday was in March. She would have passed in January. And it was years as an adult. I just had a funk. I was just sad. And I didn't know why. That was
There
the
you
thing
go.
about it. I
There you
didn't
go.
know what was wrong with me. And
That's
I
right.
never forget the day I was just sitting on the bed of a friend's house, and it just hit me that I was still in mourning. And like I said, this was years after my mom passed. So Robin, I guess you're the one with the ambulance in the background.
I muted myself. I'm in New York, so you know.
Look, girl, thank you so much. But good
I'm
looking
so
out. So
sorry.
Robin, when did you no, it's okay, girl. I appreciate your quick thinking. So when do you know that what you're feeling is actually the loss? Because it hit me afterwards.
It comes in waves. It's I actually lost my husband in 2013.
Oh,
Um, and I still have periods where I'll feel down. I miss him every day because he was phenomenal.
yeah.
I know it's grief when I'm consumed with thinking about him and I'm walking and I'm thinking about him and things that we've done. And then I start feeling empty.
Yeah.
So that's how I know, okay, this is grief. And it doesn't have a timeline. So although I'm going into year 10,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean, okay, you're not going to feel that anymore because it's after a
Right.
certain, according to statistics, they'll say, oh, you'll feel better. But it's individual. And I think grief encompasses so much. Loss can trigger so many different things, especially even childhood trauma. If you've
Yeah.
dealt with abandonment, rejection, or neglect, the loss can take you right back to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Kim, you wanted to jump in here. It looked like you wanted to say something.
She's on it. So for me, I think my husband's been dead 19 years. And this year it kicked my butt. And I'm very transparent about that. It hadn't
Wow.
kicked my butt in about 10 years, but this year it wore me out. It dragged me across the highway like roadkill because my mother died 3 years ago. And so I'm dealing with her loss. So that loss is like a double whammy. And then me and my husband, we have a child together. We have an adult son together. And he's going through some things. And I'm like, ooh, if you were here, Robert, you could
Yeah.
help. So I'm
Yeah.
really getting beat down this year. And I think that's with grief. When we have the children, young children, adult children, and the children are performing well. I have a client whose daughter just got married, just got a raised and doing well, but it's sad because her husband isn't here, the daddy's not here. So when our children are doing well or not doing well, we want to be able to share that with our late husbands, wives, and that causes issues as well.
Kimberly
And then
Richardson
it's the
joins
holiday
us.
season.
Yeah. Kimberly Richardson joins us. She is with Widows of Opportunity. It's a nonprofit she launched to help and advocate people who also experience loss. Or one of her clients is Robin Hare, who lost her husband to brain cancer back in 2013. And we are talking about happy holidays, less stress. How do you deal with this normally joyous holiday season in the midst of grieving? Kim, because you have a son, you have not only experienced it from a spouse standpoint, you're also experiencing it from a child, how your son has dealt with it. Is it different? Is loss different based on who passed away in your life, what that relationship is or was?
Absolutely. I lost my father when I was 16, and he was an amazing father, and it affected me. From there on, it affected me because it affected my mother, because my mother wasn't able to take care of us because she had lost her mind somewhat. And I'm saying that in a nice way. The grief is no joke. It's no joke. And it affected my mom tremendously until she could raise us. So I had to do the raising and the cleaning and all. So I kind of went downhill. So with my son, he lost his father when he was 6. He didn't get to enjoy any of that time with him. His father wasn't able to see him play basketball, baseball, going to middle school, graduate high school, get ready for whatever his adulthood. So I think the age is definitely different with the effects, because I have so many memories with my father that my son does not have and will never have because of the age difference.
Yeah. Danielle Lake joins us. She said the loss of one's mother is tough. She said it's been 18 years since she lost her mother, and anything as simple as cooking a particular favorite of hers can unleash tears while she's cooking. And she said Christmas is tough too. And she passed on December 13th. Kim, I know you said you recently, a few years ago, lost your mother. And Danielle, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your comment. You're right. That's why I said that about my mom. I mean, I was 17 when my mother passed away. And some days some days I am heavy, just like it was yesterday. Some days some nights I even dream about her and still wake up looking like, oh, I can't call her. You know what I mean? So, yeah. What do you, or did you do, Robin, to cope with it? And I know you said it's different times. I mean, his birthday, Thanksgiving, even Valentine's Day, those are one days, but this holiday season, and you included Thanksgiving in the holiday season, and it's definitely that. It just seems to go on forever. What do you do? And what did you do? And when did you realize I need to do something here? I need to do something, because maybe, I know for me, I had to recognize what it was first. I think you have to recognize what it was. And for me, I had to recognize what it was. And until then, I couldn't do anything about it. What about for you, Robin?
I just want to say, I think, and not to downplay anyone's loss of a mom, because I haven't lost my mom. I think the loss of a spouse is in a category all by itself, because you live with them. You do life with them like 24 hours. You don't live with your mom. You don't sleep with your mom. So right. it's a different loss. It's that doesn't make it less painful, but it's a different loss. And how I coped with it, I had to get a therapist right away. When I reached out to Kim, I was literally on the floor. So the coping is whatever you can do, pretty much, to keep breathing. That's what I say. If you need a therapist, if you need medication, if you don't have family support, that's very important. That's something that I didn't have a lot of. So, you need a family of choice, pretty much like Kim. You become very close. It's, friends. And it's so convoluted, so difficult, and very painful even now. I can't say, oh, it's gotten lighter, but that void is still there. And coping with it is just riding the wave. as it comes. I mean, and not suppressing it, because if you suppress it, it's going to show up somewhere later.
Somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Show out.
And it shows up differently when we bring Caponda and LaKesha in. I want to talk about, some of those coping mechanisms and how it shows up and what other people should say. But Kim, to Robin's point, you've lost a spouse and you've lost your mother. So can you talk about how, if it is different?
Absolutely. When you get married, you become one. That's that. So if I become one with my husband and I lose him, I'm either half or none. We made love, we fussed, we fought, we have a child together. Oh, that's serious. Then losing my mother. Oh my goodness, it's my mother. That's my world. It's my everything. Yeah, we had our ups and downs, but that's my mother. So I think each loss is different. But like she said, that marriage is serious. That's biblical. It's in the Bible. So we become one. So I think it all depends on the relationship. Some people may be closer to their husbands or their mothers or their parent than they were their spouse, etc., or what have you. So I think it all depends on the loss of the individual. In that case, for me, being that my mother just passed is fresher than my husband dying, my focus is more on my mother's loss because she just passed. And of course, my husband died 19 years ago. And let me say something, just because my husband died 19 years ago doesn't mean I should be good. I'm good because of counseling. I went to counseling. I'm good because of God. I'm good because I'm still fighting. So please don't meet someone and think that because their husband's been dead 19, 20 years, they should be good. No, it all depends on their journey, if they're getting help, support, like Robin was speaking about.
Yeah,
I love that you piece. Your faith, I think, is a huge piece. I'm just going to be real. I don't even think I'd be here doing this interview if God didn't sustain me. That's how painful it was. Yeah. So faith is very important. It is.
Yeah. Mitchell Peace Joy Jen says everyone handles the grief process differently. And thank you, Mitchell, for your comment. And that's so true. And it is. It's different based on who you are, what your belief is. And, I love, Robin, that you said you have to find the type of family that works for you. I can't remember the exact verbiage, but and that may not be the people you grew up with. It may not be the people that share your last name or your bloodline. Your family is who helps you, who feeds you, who relates to you, who can give you what you need at the time. And it might be the people with your last name, the same last name, and it might not be. So you got to find your tribe. That's the other thing. You got to find your tribe.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that. That's the reason why I founded Widows of Opportunity, because I didn't have a tribe when my husband died in 2003. There were organizations that did grief, sessions, but no one focused just on husbands. And I'm like, I don't want to be here sitting with someone who lost a child or someone who lost a mother and not feel their pain. And also I don't want to make it seem like their pain is less than mine. I just want to be in a room where people understand me. And so at that time I couldn't find it. So I created it. That was the whole start of why I started Widows of Opportunity, because I couldn't find any help for myself.
And so, Kim, through Widows of Opportunity, providing advocacy, help, support, you also, like Robin, kind of nurture, support, help other women through, women and men too. Is it women and men? Yeah.
Yes, it's both. With the I met Robin through Facebook. Social media is a beautiful thing. That's just it. That's how I look at it. And I was sharing my organization.
Good and bad, girl. It's good and bad.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. But guess what? We can control the bad though. If I'm following somebody and they're negative, you're getting off my page. And if you come on my page with negativity, you're getting blocked. So everything that I'm following is in my space is good. So so with that, she saw the organization and she started to follow it. And we offered grief one-on-one grief sessions, and that's when she started to sign up and was able to do the sessions weekly with the organization. And those are individual sessions that we do. We focus on your loss and we educate you on how to grieve effectively and get through this and move forward on your time and on your terms.
I'm also glad that both of you mentioned mental health. And I have to say, I think that COVID has softened the blow a little bit, but typically in our community and people of color, we typically look down
Yes,
and
we do.
ridicule people who turn to a mental health professional. And that is so I'm so glad you mentioned it, because it's important. And like you said, Robin, you've got to get it where you can get it. If that's what feeds you, if that's what helps you, you can't be ashamed to do what you need to do to get the help that you need to get.
Mm-mm. And Trey, it's unfortunate that COVID came in and affected everybody in the world. And now people know grief and loss real well right now. Before that, people didn't, if it wasn't in their front porch, whatever, it's not bothering me. But after COVID, everybody knows something about some type of loss. So it's unfortunate it had to be that way.
Yeah, it kind of, and that's why this holiday season, the last couple of holiday seasons, I think have been transformative to a lot of people, because so many people have passed away. So many people from all walks of life, all ages. I think so many more people are dealing and experiencing loss and trying to figure out, how do I get through it? How do I get through the most wonderful time of the year, as the song says, when I don't feel all of this? I mean, I have a friend right now that he lost his mom years ago. I mean, he's an adult. He lost his mom years ago, and he will not do anything during the holidays. He goes home and that's it. And he literally said to me, "I'll talk to you in January." I was like, let's go to dinner. Can we just at least go to dinner? No, I just want to stay at the house, and I've said to him, and this comes into, and this is gonna, and we're gonna bring in LaKesha and Caponda after this. This speaks to how can you, as a family or friend, support your your loved one who has experienced loss. I said to him, I shared with him how I felt with my mother, and how after I recognized that that's why I was dealing with the depression, how I shifted it a little bit for me and just said, I know my mother loved the holidays. She wouldn't want me to be sad during the holidays. So, and still, while I'm not like overly happy holiday, I'm okay with it, because I know my mother would want me to enjoy the holidays, and to me, that's honoring her. So I even said to him, why not plant a tree for her or do something for her in her honor during the season, knowing that she too, he told me his mom loved the holidays. But and he said, that's nice, thank you.
No thank you.
Thanks, but no thanks. I just want to go to the house,
Trey,
and be a hermit.
My mother died October 24th. My husband died October 17th. My mother died October 24th. Oh goodness, October. Her favorite holiday was November, and she cooked Thanksgiving dinner every year. And so our new tradition now is I cook now. I cook Thanksgiving dinner for my brothers. I've never cooked Thanksgiving in my life. So so I cook Thanksgiving, and we go to the beach because that's where her ashes were at. So that's our new tradition, and that's what we do. Don't want to do it. I want to stay in the bed, but that's the way we honor our mother, and that's the beautiful thing for us.
Does it make you feel better?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, I've been in my house 18 years, and don't have company like that. And for the past couple of years, my house has been full of people. And I think my neighbors are like, well, who died? They're looking around like, well, what's going on over there? Did someone die? I mean, no one never comes over. Right. So it was funny it was nice to have those people in my home and feeding my family. It was beautiful. And that's why my mother did it for so long.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah. It's happy holidays, less stress. We're coping with loss today on Coping. I'm Tre Tailor, and we're talking to Kimberly Richardson. She is she's been honored several times, along with then South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. She has Widows of Opportunity, a support group for other men and women who have lost their spouses. One of her clients, Robin, Hare joins us. Robin Hare joins us, and they've been sharing their stories with us. If you just joined us, please hit the rewind button because they've been sharing some amazing things. When we come back, we will be joined by LaKesha McGraw, who is a motivational speaker and life coach and trainer and mental health professional, Caponda Narcisso. They will share some tips and strategies you can use to help you cope with loss during the holidays. That and more coming up next on Coping. I'm Tre Tailor. We'll be right back.
Computers, they're a part of our everyday lives. But when they're not working, they're an everyday problem. So call Computers Unique, your everyday solution. 803-351-5821. Is your computer running slow? Won't turn on? Do you need a screen replaced? Or maybe you just need another computer? Well, Computers Unique is your one-stop shop for all your computer needs. They have a wide variety of new and pre-owned PCs, Macs, and tablets. So call Computers Unique, Dutch Square Mall. 803-351-5821. 803-351-5821.
Hi, I'm Donnie Ray Campbell with Richland County Sheriff's Department. As a strong advocate of healthy lifestyles and habits, I know that taking care of your health is important, which includes knowing if you have prediabetes. Prediabetes is a serious health condition that puts you at risk for developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Visit InItTogetherSC.org and take the online test. This message has been brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina.
Congratulations to everyone who won those tickets to Carolina Lights. I think they're closed today. They're open back up tomorrow, and then they're open on Monday. Carolina Lights at the South Carolina State Fairgrounds. Thank you to them for partnering with us to provide you with tickets to and a fabulous light show. I'm Tre Tailor, and you're watching Coping, hosted by me, Tre Tailor. We're giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we will always be coping with something. We are streaming live on the Tailor Made Production page on Facebook. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow. Find out when we go live Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council, and also on Thursday and Friday. We're also streaming live on our YouTube channel. Please go over there and hit the subscribe button. There you will find 3 years of information, interviews, and resources to help you cope. We also have a presence on IG and also on Twitter. Today, we're coping with loss. It's our Happy Holidays, Less Stress series to help you identify and deal with the stressors that often come right along with the merriment of the holidays. Kimberly Richardson with Widows Opportunities shared her journey in the last segment, along with Robin Hare. Rewind if you just joined us. She rejoins us with Caponda Narcisso, who has a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in rehabilitation counseling. She works with the state of South Carolina as a training coordinator and instructor. LaKesha McGraw also joins us again. She's a motivational speaker, life coach who believes in leaving her mark by positively impacting the lives of others. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So LaKesha and Caponda, you guys heard, you were backstage and heard what Kim and Robin were sharing. I want to talk to you guys about how different grief and stress looks, because it can manifest differently. Caponda, can you start?
Absolutely. There was so much I wanted to add, because the focus was on the death of a spouse. There are a lot of different losses. Divorce is a loss during holiday season, and
Yeah.
that's something a lot of people are coping with. You have a loss of finances, you have a loss, you lost half of everything sometimes. And about spouses and the moms, that kind of thing, I was like, well, eventually, not saying you'll go out and get another spouse or significant other tomorrow, but you could, but you can't get another mama. That's how I see that. But it is this grief thing, I just want to say seasonal affect disorder is real. That is
Yeah.
a real thing. Um, Kimberly was talking about the periods of time where you find yourself feeling sad. And that's really what that is, and sometimes you don't know, "Why am I sad? What is going on?" And you figure it out.
Oh
I
yeah.
have a period of months, and it's from July through October where many people that I loved passed away. So from July to October, I don't like to be bothered. I go home, I go to bed, I do that kind of thing. Sometimes I may not clean the house or whatever, and you have to force yourself to get back to life and say, well, I'm still here. I need to do these things. I need to let people in. And I applaud Kimberly for, necessity is the mother of invention. She didn't
Yeah.
have somebody to do that with. So she
Thank you.
created it for others.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
I was thinking maybe, we need like a divorced person law support group to
Yes,
say, because
we do.
w- you go to parties and stuff and people are like, where's your plus one? When you have a spouse, you usually have that built-in plus one, but you know, um, we need we need a plethora of groups. We need lots of different things
Resources.
and some focus groups. And
Yeah.
I really want to get to know Kimberly and look into her group because I think it's wonderful. I know Robin
Thank you.
appreciates her, and I'd love to do the research and see what's going on. But I just wanted to reiterate that grief is unique. Nobody can tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody has, it's just like sweet potato pie. Everybody has their recipe and thinks that theirs is the right way.
Right.
But I may think your pie is nasty because it's got too much nutmeg in it. You know, and I like mine with a little more cinnamon. So you can't tell people how to grieve. You can't tell
Yeah.
them when it should be over. You can't, one of my biggest loss, my grandmother died. And Trey, how I felt about my grandmother. It was in
Yes.
2016. I can do something as simple as see a bag of Cheetos in the store because she had Alzheimer's, and one of the things she would still eat, I used to feed her Cheetos. So when I see those, I'll start crying sometimes. So it's weird things trigger grief. When you think you're okay, and you're in Food Lion and there's the chips aisle, and you're crying over Cheetos, and people are looking at you like you're crazy. Like, girl, I'll buy them for you if you don't have enough. But it's, it's just
Yeah.
these are the ways we cope. And y'all, I cope. I turn everything funny. That's another coping mechanism. You
Yeah.
have to find your way through grief.
Right. Right. I'm so glad you said that, Caponda, because you're right. I mean, yes, Kim and Robin both had losses of spouses, lost during because of passing, because of death. But you're so right. You could lose your job, and that's a loss. You could lose, you could go through a divorce, even a breakup, even if you're not married to someone. All of these things are losses. A loss of a pet. All of these things are losses of something, someone, whatever that you are connected to and you are affected by. And you have to then deal with whatever that is. And I mean, I love that you say it does affect people differently. And Kim even mentioned this. We can't um, minimize what someone else's loss is because we're not in that space that they have lost it. And listen, I might be able to go through the potato chip line, but you don't can't go through the potato chip line. And you know what? But that doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. It means that you are grieving differently. Lamaris Boyles, we have another comment. Lamaris Boyles says that they lost their dad in December, which makes 12 years this season. She said she lost their sister November 12th, 2 years this season. She says, holidays truly hit different now for us. Nevertheless, we strive to continue when pulling together as a family in order to celebrate life as our loved ones would have it. Although it's not easy, we make a conscious decision to fight through our various sensitive feelings. Lamars, thank you so much for joining us. And we also offer our condolences for your losses. LaKesha, Lamar said they make a a definitive choice, obvious choice, a parent choice, a conscious decision, as she said, to fight through it. What do you think? And that's what Kim said. She said she don't really like people in her house, but she knows that
No.
now she's the
Taking one
person.
for the team. Right? She's taking one for the team. She's continuing on.
Yes.
But you know, ladies, I like to take that back because while I was backstage, my heart was aching. And I'm going to tell you why. Yes, I'm a certified life coach and master trainer. Yes, I've done all these great things, but the number one thing that I pride myself on is being human. And in order to be human, you have to be transparent and share your own story. So 5 months ago, I lost my boyfriend. 5 months ago, I mean, 5 good months, I mean, in July 31st, he was taken from us. Okay, so this is a newfound grief. And so many people ask, how have you mustered up the strength to continue to do what you do for so many other people? How do you continue to serve in the capacity you serve? And what I tell them is, God is a good God. What God has done for me and how he has loved me and protected me and covered me, there's no other that could have done it and could have hurt me to make me be present today. Creating that tribe, being a part of a group of people who love you and see you through flaws and all makes life a little easier to bear, right? We realize that sometimes the only way to get or go through grief is to have love. Love is what helps you heal, not time. Time can sometimes be frozen, but you are stuck in that same day, in that same time, in that same emotion. It's just like it just happened. Your loved one just left you. But we're wrapped around love and people who see you and who are making your word, who understands that some days are not going to be good. It makes it that much easier to bear. So 5 months into this, ladies, I'm finding a new sense of normalcy. But I'm remembering the good times. I made a conscious decision for me because grief, as you all know, is not a one size fit all. It's not. We all deal with it differently. We can all look at our relationships and our connection based on how we organize our life. There are a list of priorities and a list that how people fall and they're of importance in our life. So be it your mother, your father, friend, your cat, your dog, your job, your finances, that divorce, losing your house, having to relocate, whatever that looks like for the holidays, that weight gets heavy. It gets heavy. And unless you are in a comfortable space where you feel the opportunity of finding free to speak about it, because let's be honest, sometimes you don't want to carry your weight or share it with someone else. You don't want to subject them to your pain. So you try to find ways to isolate yourself and deal with it alone. And that's not always the best way to cope either. But here's the caveat to that. You have to figure out what works best for you. If you don't want to put up that tree this year, then don't. If you don't want to be surrounded around people, then don't. If you want to be around a group of people who are loving on you, breathing life into you, then do. But you have to figure out what works for you. You cannot grieve the way somebody else expects you to grieve. You cannot do that. My platform allows me to tell people that God uses imperfect people to do perfect work. So while I am grieving and going through, he's allowing my testimony to reach other people. It's like you ladies. Your testimony is going to shift or change the trajectory for someone else simply because you made a decision to say, I will not be a victim of something I could not control. I cannot control the loss. This loss is bigger than me. This loss is something that I can't carry on. I need someone to help me on the left and the right side of me. You made that choice. And the people who are listening and chiming in, just like we're making that choice, I encourage you this season to choose that same path, to figure out what that looks like for you. Surround yourself with people who make you seen. Surround yourself with people who understand that every day's not going to be a good day, but know that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. In his own time, it'll handle its own business. And if you keep your faith front and center, God will lead you through.
Yeah. Thank you, LaKesha. You know what? Oh, go ahead, Caponda. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I wanted to just add something to what she was saying about making those choices. I was asked a question yesterday. Someone asked me what was my hopes and dreams for 2023. And I had to think about it. And I said, I hope to now start treating myself and doing for myself as much and as well as I do for others. I said, because I deserve that.
Yes, you do.
So it's conscious choice, and choices are very important. We can make bad ones, we can make good ones, but we can't be complacent, we can't be passive. Make some choices.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, Caponda, it's interesting, and Trey knows my perspective on New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in them. Okay, I think it's a cliche. Here's why. If you don't do the work to make the necessary changes today, the same you that you are on 12/23/2022 will show up January 1, 2023. You have to be willing to invest in you, have a conversation, reflect on your life to be able to truly say, I want to be better. But you don't wait until that ball drops. You start that today. You make that decision today. You say, I will no longer be a victim of the things that are trying to swallow me whole. I will take control of the things that I can control. And I will release the things that I cannot. You know why? Because most times the things that we stress about are the things we can't control. Things that we wish we could fix, the people, the changes, death in life. We wish we could fix it all, but we can't. But when you focus on or find a focus on the things that you can, life gets a little easier to bear. That plate gets a little lighter. When you realize that you can't focus on everyone, back to Caponda's point, I need to take care of me and make me a priority. I need to love on me. I've been trying to heal for everyone, the kids, uncles, cousins, the children. I'm trying to make sure all of them okay. And my world is collapsing around me. I don't even have a foundation to stand on. When you realize that you can no longer do that for everyone else because your cup is empty, so you're running on fumes. You have to realize that you got to be refueled and refilled. Yeah. And that's going to do that and take inventory, ladies and gentlemen. We have to love ourselves just a little bit more. You know, we can talk statistics and we know what life tells us, but these are real people with real feelings that are trying to figure out how to cope. Because as Trey always says, we're always going to be coping with something. And it means one size all. I wish it was like that. I wish we transfer your energy to me and say, well, LaKesha, do this. Work for me. Do it. It'll work. No. LaKesha had to sit down and figure out what worked for her. And for me, it was sharing my love of life with people like you guys. It's me empowering and impacting other people and sharing my story that helps me to heal 5 months, 5 precious months of losing a man that I loved and thought I was going to do life with. 5 months later, I'm sitting here sharing his name and keeping his legacy alive. And that's healing me. That's therapeutic for me. So find what works for you. Grab that thing by the neck and let's keep this thing going. We're better when we're together.
Let me chime in. I did a post recently and I said that, you know, it took me a while to figure out. I was so angry with God why you took my husband. I only had him for this amount of time. And we have a baby together. And I said, you know what? God blessed me with that true love. That was true love. That was my world. But that wasn't my purpose. See, my purpose was to do what I'm doing now. So in order to do what I'm doing now, I had to have a husband. Sometimes we have to lose to win. And I don't think I would have ever met Robin as one person. Like Robin's in Manhattan right now. There's no way I would have met her living in Columbia, South Carolina. If I was still married, my husband and my one child, I would be all selfish and all booed up right now. And I wouldn't be out here serving the world and, you know, being, you know, serving not only worldwide, but internationally and helping people all over. There's no way I would have done that if I was still married to my husband. So he blessed me with an amazing man. And one thing I know that as we live, we die. So he blessed me with him. He took him from me. It's okay. But he also blessed me with this amazing organization and my purpose. I think with a purpose, that's everything for us. When you know your purpose, you have a reason to get up. You have a reason to go and do what you need to do. And I think that's the thing about when we lose someone, we need to find our purpose. What's your purpose now? That's what keeps us going. You just lost your boyfriend 5 months ago and you have so much passion and you're talking and you're so woo, 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 woo. So like that's, you have a purpose. You have a reason to get up. And my purpose was this organization and I started it and I love it and I love what I do. And I don't know. I think our purpose is everything. Like, you know, that's just it. And so, again, I don't think I would have been here, done that, met wonderful people like Robin and more people, you know, if I still had my husband. I don't think I would have done that.
You know, I tell my clients that all the time, Kimberly. I said my purpose is bigger than my pain. My purpose is bigger than my pain.
That's it.
I feel like God is very intentional, even when we can question him, be angry, be mad, all the things. He's very intentional. He knows just what you need and the people that you are meant to serve. So in order to serve them, sometimes you have to relate to them, right? So in order to talk about pain, you have to feel pain. In order to know loss, speak on loss, you have to experience those type of losses. And so I take nothing for granted. I take nothing for granted. I thank God for every moment, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I continue to thrive in that purpose. I continue to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I continue to be a reflector, right? Because I want to reflect my light on someone else who may be in darkness, to let them know that if God did it for me, he can surely do it for you, because I am no better than anybody else. So I know that my purpose is bigger than my pain.
Yeah, I love that. Kim, I love that you said that, because that is so, so important. Lamar says, amen, sister. Ditto. Thank you, Lamar. She says, yes, ma'am, we have to go through the process in order to live our purpose. She says, it hurts sometimes, but God has a perfect plan for our lives. Our pain is our purpose. And I think so many times we miss the process and the purpose, because our grief is so heavy, and like I said, it's justified, but
Yes.
I really want to talk about, and you mentioned so many things that I want to bring in, the spirituality part of it, how to move through the pain. And LaKesha, I forgot that I forgot that you just lost your boyfriend. And you're right, 5 months ago, tragic accident, very highly publicized. And I have to say, I applaud you, girl, because look, after this, you may go somewhere and cry your eyes out, but you really, you are working through it. You are working through it and blessing so many people, just like Kim, blessing so many people because of the pain that you experience. And even Caponda, I love that you said that you want to, maybe work with Kimberly or talk to Kimberly about how to create some type of nonprofit or support group for those people who have had a different type of loss. Because as you say, these are things, one, that we go through so that we can do something about it, help somebody else, which is really the purpose in life, for us to help somebody else. And it helps us with our grieving process.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit. Maxine says that she said her dad died in 2005. Then she said her husband died in March. Her dad died in March. Her husband died in October, both in 2005. She said they both were the life of the party. She said the holidays are not as lively as they used to be. Maxine, thank you so much for your comment. I want to talk a little bit, ladies, about how you push yourself. How do you move through the grief, the loneliness, the depression, the stress? How do you gear yourself up to move through that? Anybody can join in. Caponda, do you want to jump in?
It's so funny, Trey. Everybody started laughing when you asked that question. All three of us started laughing, because I think in that moment, our thoughts were synchronized. It was like, girl, you don't know the half. I think that's me. I think at that moment, we all felt that, because every day is a different day. You have to take every day as it comes. Truly. I always tell people I'm going to be present today. Tomorrow will take care of itself.
Absolutely.
So for me, I'm figuring today. I'm happy. I'm excited. This excites me. This ignites a fear in me. And I might hear a song in the next 3 hours and me bawling up, because I'm human, right?
That's right. That's right.
And I might be crying in the next couple of hours. Tomorrow morning, I may wake up and I want to get out of the bed. But to your question, how do I keep going? I have to keep going.
Right.
It's bigger than me. There's more people who need whatever it is that God put in me. So while I'm grieving and I have my moments, he's giving me the tools and resources I need to not just heal myself, but to share it with other people, so that I can help heal someone else who may not have a community that I can be that person for them, their accountability partner. So I pride myself on being that light for my clients or people that I touch. And I let them know that it's okay to not be okay. And I don't try to tell them how it worked for me, that they should no. I let them do their grief in their own way. I just stand and ask them what they need from me. How can I be of a better resource to you? And I continue to take this journey step by step, day by day.
Well, the unfortunate thing is some people choose things that really hurt them, drugs, alcohol, things of that sort. So what do you say to people to help them not choose that and choose something that may not end up harming them in the long run?
Well, I don't. That's a good question. I don't. We have to know if you're using drugs or if you're on, if you're doing alcohol, because sometimes it may be not too late. But if you're already doing the drugs, now we have to find a clinic for you to get off of the drugs or the alcohol. But I think like we were talking earlier, therapy and finding your own community, like a support group and people that understand you helps. Because I think a lot of times for me personally, I isolated myself when my husband died. I was only 24 because people started calling me crazy because I changed and I wasn't laughing anymore and I was quiet and I was to myself. I was crazy. So I was tired of being judged and I didn't know grief. I didn't know about it, I didn't understand it. So I isolated myself and I didn't deal with people. Fortunately for me, I didn't do drugs and I didn't do alcohol, but I did reckless behavior. And a lot of times we do reckless things because we no longer want to be here. So instead of me saying I'm going to commit suicide, I'm going to be reckless and I'm going to do all these type of things to fill my void. So that's what some people tend to do. I think for those type of people, again, we have to bring them in and let them know you're not by yourself. Be transparent, because when people see some of us, sometimes when people see me, I speak on myself. You see me, you see this, you judge me from how I look. You don't know what I've been through. I've been through so much for a long, like all my whole life seemed like it. And so once a person realizes, okay, this person is raw and transparent and been through hell and back like me, we can connect some type of way. Too many people are too judgmental, and it's hard to know who's real and who's fake. So then you start to isolate yourself. And then if I tell you my life right now, the day I talk to you, I trust and I tell you what I'm going through, and then later on somebody, so it comes back to me, I'm not trusting you. So whatever what we're doing when we're reaching out to people, we got to be available to them. And that's the thing. I want to answer the other question you was asking. How do we get through it? Well, for me, being a motivational speaker and hosting grief sessions and traveling, I don't have a choice. I got to get out here and go. I can't set up a session on, Robin, I'll see you in the morning, and I'm in the bed sleeping depressed. I have to set my alarm, shake it off, and get on the line with Robin like, hey, everything's okay. While I'm helping Robin, I'm helping myself. If someone expected me to come, I got a gig prep. I got to get up and drive or fly to the gig. So that is my purpose, is what wakes me up. Well, my purpose is what makes me go and do what I have to do and need to do. So yeah, I wanted to answer that, but yeah.
We're coping with stress today. Happy holidays, less stress, talking about how to cope with loss during the holiday season. We've been talking to Kimberly Richardson. She's with Widows of Opportunity, a nonprofit that she founded to help women and men deal with the loss of their spouses. One of her clients and friends, Robin Hare, joins us from New York. Thank you, Robin. Caponda Narcisso is a trainer at the state that works for the state of South Carolina, and also joining us is a motivational speaker and life coach, LaKesha McGraw. Ladies, we want to end the session with just a brief word from each of you to give someone who may be experiencing loss this holiday season just one piece of advice on how to have a happy holiday in the midst of the sadness that they may be experiencing. Caponda, can you start it off, please?
Sure. I just like to say, establish your peace. Find your peace. Find your joy. Don't give it away. Don't let anybody snatch it from you, and you damn sure don't need to just hand it over to them.
Yeah. Robin, can you join? Can you share something?
Sure. I always say one breath at a time, not one day at a time. 24 hours is a long time.
Yeah.
So you have to get a team. That's critical. You have to get a team, a therapist. A friend is good, but you need someone with some credentials that's learned in this area to help you get through, because that's pretty much what sustained me. And I just wanted to add something real quickly about addictions. If you've had that in the past, in your history, it can come back after a loss. Yeah. It can trigger it. And the best thing to do, get help immediately, and be transparent with someone. because if not, you're going to go down a rabbit trail and it's hard to come back from it. So I just say, just breathe and get a team.
Yeah. Yeah. Kimberly, can you chime in?
Absolutely. I'm agreeing with Robin. I'm speaking from experience. I was a mess and I was down a rabbit trail, as she said, for 5 years after I lost my husband, and counseling helped me. So counseling is very important, to get counseling, get support. You know, right now this is a brief conversation. We say these brief words, but we need consistent support.
Yeah.
If you're going to the gym, you want to lose weight, you have to go to the gym daily. You can't go to the gym once a year or once a month. You're not going to see anything. So you need to go to this. You need consistency, once a week, twice a week with therapy. And Widows of Opportunity, we do offer grief sessions. You know, you have the information up there. If anybody's interested in doing grief sessions with Widows of Opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trey. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. As Kim said, there is the information. If anyone has lost a spouse, please contact Kim. As she said, they do one-on-one sessions. They do group sessions. She's a public speaker and can help you navigate through the loss of your loved one. LaKesha, can you give us the final word?
Sure. I just want to share with the audience watching and each lady on this line. I want you to know that I'm sending you love and light. And I say that because the only way we'll all be able to get to the next day, that next breath, that next moment, is to be wrapped around and surrounded with love. Because in the darkest of moments, love will always bring you out. Yes. And so I challenge everyone this season to show a little grace, because you never know what someone else is going through. You never know what someone else is feeling and how they're grieving in this season. Don't judge or be so quick to judge a book by its cover. Understand that we all have a story to tell, and yours just be a bestseller. Trust your testimony and know that we're all here to support you. Again, my name is LaKesha McGraw, certified life coach and master trainer. I'm here to support in any capacity I can. I offer group sessions, individual company sessions, all of things on a variety of topics I've been trained on. So I'm here to support you as much as I can, but I'm here to let you know that you are not alone. We love you and we're here to support you. Thank you, Trey.
All right, LaKesha McGraw, Caponda Narcisso, Robin here, and Kimberly Richardson. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your strength, your courage, and your expertise. And happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you all.
And stay warm, Robin, in New York. Thank you, ladies. I want to say hi to Joel Davis, who was watching. Caponda, he said hello to you. He said you can't get help from everybody. Definitely, Joel. Also to Lamaris Boyles that says thank you, ladies. Powerful words, and she wished everyone a Merry Christmas. So listen, if you have a story or initiative that could help someone cope, please email booking@copingwithtreTailor.com. If you have a product or service that could help someone cope, please email copingwithtreTailor@gmail.com. We would love for you to be a proud sponsor, just like In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. They sponsor Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping with Tre Tailor, Javis Financial Services, Computers Unique, Duck Square Mall, the Comet Bus System, Black Pages, Black Expo, the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office, Attorney Byron Gibson, and Palmetto Media Connections. Also, Agape Counseling and Training Services. We're going to leave you with a reading from Jesus Calling. It's December 23rd, and it says, I am King of Kings and Lord of Lords, dwelling in dazzling bright light. I am also your shepherd, your companion, and friend, the one who never lets go of your hand. Worship me in my holy majesty. Come close to me and rest in my presence. You need me both as God and as man, and rest in me. Only my incarnation of that first long ago Christmas could fulfill your neediness. Since I went to such extreme measures to save you from your sins, you can be assured that I will graciously give you all you need. Nurture well your trust in me as Savior, Lord, and friend. I have held back nothing to you. I have even deigned to live within you. Rejoice in all that I have done for you, and my light will shine through you into the world. That's your Jesus Calling for today, December 23rd. I'm Tre Tailor. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us all year long. I wish you peace, abundant blessings. Merry Christmas. Be safe, be happy, and be warm because it's supposed to be cold. Thank y'all so much for watching.
Coping, find peace of mind to survive through whatever. Coping, learning the way that we thrive all together. Coping, finding out what's real. Coping, we can heal, we can heal, we can heal. Coping with stress, coping with strife, bringing hope for success, for improving our life. Coping beyond hoping to do more than survive, ways to live a healthy life. Coping and promoting, learning what you can do, 6 ways to a better you. Coping, find peace of mind to survive